there, it's Darcy Sullivan from the Clinic Marketing Podcast and Propel Marketing and Design. Before we dive into today's episode, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to a brand new, limited time, on-demand webinar called How to Dominate Google Search, Google Maps, and AI-driven search results. This is designed just for clinics. In just 1 hour, you'll get a roadmap for boosting your online visibility, making sure people near you find your clinic first, all without paying for ads. You'll also walk away with a free patient-centered SEO action plan. If you've ever felt buried in the Google results or puzzled about how to rank higher for your targeted keywords, this webinar is for you. Register now by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn or grab the link in the show notes. Welcome back to the Clinic Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Darcy Sullivan from Propel Marketing and Design. Today, we're talking about something that tends to send clinic owners into panic mode: missing Google reviews. And I'm sure you can relate. Maybe you had 150 reviews yesterday, and now you only have 125. Maybe a patient tells you they left you a review last week, but you still can't find it. Or maybe suddenly you notice several reviews have disappeared from your Google business profile listing. The first thing that I want you to know is this. Take a breath. A missing review does not automatically mean that your account has been penalized or that someone is trying to attack your business. In many cases, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for what is going on. So let's walk through the most common reasons Google reviews disappear and what you should do next. First, confirm the review is actually missing. This might sound obvious, but it's definitely worth checking. Patients often tell clinics that they left a review when they actually started writing one but never submitted it. Or other times, maybe they didn't leave the review on Google. Maybe it was left on Facebook, Yelp, Healthgrades, or another profile. So make sure you're looking in the correct place and that the review was actually published. I've seen clinics spend days chasing missing reviews that never were submitted in the first place. Google may be delaying the review. Not every review appears immediately. Sometimes Google holds reviews for additional processing. This is especially common when the review comes from a brand new Google account. The account has little activity history. Google wants additional verification. Sometimes reviews appear within hours. Other times they may take days. So before assuming a review has been removed, give it some time. It could be that the review violated Google's policies. Google automatically removes reviews that violate its guidelines. This can happen even if the reviewer has good intentions. Let's talk about some examples of this. Examples include promotional content, what appears to be spam, what appears to be fake reviews, reviews written in exchange for incentives, reviews posted from multiple accounts, reviews containing prohibited content. Sometimes the reviewer has no idea that they're triggering a policy issue. Google's systems simply decide the review should not be displayed. It could also be that the reviewer's account has a problem. Many clinic owners don't realize that review visibility is tied to the reviewer's Google account, not their own Google account. So if Google identifies suspicious activity on the account of the person who is leaving a review, reviews may disappear. This can happen when the account was newly created, the user rarely uses Google services, the account has posted unusual review patterns, or Google believes the account may be fake. The review may disappear even though nothing is wrong with your clinic. Or maybe you requested reviews in a way that looks unnatural. This is one area where clinics occasionally get themselves in trouble. Let's say you haven't asked for reviews in 6 months. Then suddenly 40 reviews appear in a 3-day period. To Google, that can look unusual. Or maybe everyone is reviewing from the same office Wi-Fi network, which can happen if you leave a sign up right by checkout that says to leave a review. Or perhaps a staff member is creating accounts to leave reviews. I would hope that's not happening, but it is something to consider. Google's systems are continually looking for suspicious patterns of any type. So the safest strategy is always consistent review generation over time. A few reviews every week is generally better than a large spike followed by long periods of inactivity. Maybe the patient reviewed the wrong listing. This happens more often than you would think, especially in practices that have multiple providers, multiple locations, practitioner listings, or old duplicate listings. If you've listened to this show for a while, maybe you listened to the episode where we talked about if doctors should have separate listings from the clinic's listing. And that's a good one to go back and listen to, and we'll include it in the notes, because if a provider has a listing that's separate from a clinic listing, it's very easy for someone to leave a review on the wrong profile. So if your clinic has multiple Google business profiles, check them all before assuming the review is gone. And I would suggest that you encourage reviews to be left on the clinic Google business profile over the practitioner's profile. So what should you do if you feel like reviews are disappearing? Here's the process that I recommend. Step 1, wait a few days. Maybe reviews eventually appear on their own. Google oftentimes has some little glitches happening, so I would give it a few days to see if it just clears up on its own. Step 2, ask the patient to confirm. Have them verify the review was submitted, they're viewing the correct business, the review still appears in their Google account. Step 3, check for duplicate profiles. Make sure the review was not published on the provider's profile, an accidental duplicate location, or maybe an old business listing. Step 4, review Google's policies. If the review contains anything that might violate those guidelines, that could explain the removal. And in the show notes, we'll include a link to Google's policies. Step 5, continue collecting reviews. This is the most important step. Don't become so focused on one missing review that you stop generating new reviews. Most clinics will benefit far more from collecting 20 new reviews than spending weeks chasing a few missing reviews. Which leads us into how to protect your reviews going forward. The best defense against missing reviews is to have a healthy review strategy. This means asking consistently, use a direct review link, avoid providing any incentives, don't review your own business or have any of your team members leave a review or former team members. Encourage authentic patient feedback. If you've listened to a previous episode, we dove into this specifically where I talked about how we would like for you to ask for reviews in a more authentic way, asking what brought you in today and how was your experience. People are more likely to leave an authentic review for that versus will you leave a review? Because if you just say, will you leave a review? And they just click a certain star number and don't leave any description with it, that could also trigger the review not to show up. And when someone leaves a review with words, Google gets a better understanding about your business. And we want those words to be related to the services and the treatment they received versus clean office or friendly staff. You also want to make sure that you respond to reviews regularly and that you monitor your profile monthly. Now, I also want to mention that it's much better to gather reviews outside of your office location. As we talked about before, it can send a little bit of a red flag if everyone is leaving reviews from your specific Wi-Fi location. The best defense against missing reviews is a healthy review strategy. This means asking consistently, to use a direct link for reviews to avoid incentives. Make sure that no one from your office is leaving the review, meaning any of your office team members. I also like to suggest that you send out email blast asking for reviews instead of encouraging people to leave a review while they're still at your location, and encourage authentic feedback. And that also comes into play with the way that you ask for reviews. So asking for a review like, please share what brought you in today and how your experience was is going to leave a better review than just saying, please leave a review. Make sure that you respond to reviews regularly and that you monitor your profile. Missing Google reviews can be frustrating, but most of the time, they aren't a sign that something is seriously wrong. Google's review system is designed to prioritize authentic feedback and filter out anything that appears suspicious or low quality. If a review disappears, work through the checklist we went over, verify the details, and keep your focus on building a steady stream of genuine patient reviews. Because at the end of the day, a few missing reviews aren't usually what determines your success. A consistent review strategy is. And that's what ultimately helps clinics improve trust, visibility, local SEO performance, and long-term growth. So what if you've tried everything that we talked about today and reviews are still missing? If you've gone through the entire checklist that we've gone through today and you're confident the reviews were submitted, they do not violate any of Google's guidelines, and they're still not showing up, it might be time to contact Google support. Start by visiting your Google Business Profile dashboard and clicking on Support. From there, you can choose the issue you're experiencing and request assistance. When contacting Google, gather as much information as possible beforehand, including the date the reviews were submitted, the reviewers' names, screenshots from the reviewer showing the reviews in their account, if that's available, the URL to your Google Business Profile, and details about troubleshooting steps you've already completed. It's important to set realistic expectations. Google does not manually restore every missing review, and in many cases, they won't provide a specific reason why a review was filtered or removed. However, if there is a legitimate technical issue affecting your profile, support may be able to investigate it further. One thing I like to tell clinics is this: don't put all your energy into chasing a single missing review or a couple reviews while neglecting your overall review strategy. Even if a few reviews never return, the bigger opportunity is continuing to generate authentic patient reviews consistently over time. A steady stream of these new reviews will always have a greater impact on your visibility and patient trust than trying to recover a few that are missing. That perspective can save you a lot of frustration while still encouraging you to take the appropriate steps when reviews disappear. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Clinic Marketing Podcast. If you found this helpful, please share it with other clinic owners that you think would find value. And you can follow us on Instagram at Propel Your Company. Well, hey, before we head out, I would love to share with you my brand new free workshop that is going to help you rank at the top of Google and get free website traffic. It's called How to Dominate the First Page of Google and Get More New Patients Without Spending Money on Ads. I would love for you to join me in this free workshop. You can find this by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn. In this free training, you will learn what SEO is, how to improve your rankings in Google, the number one thing you can do today to improve your website performance, which takes less than 10 minutes, why SEO has such a huge impact on your company's bottom line and how to leverage it to get more leads, where to focus your efforts online for maximum results, along with how to integrate the latest in AI to simplify the whole process. Again, you can sign up for that webinar by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn.